Yes! Oh, man. I am exhausted.
Already?
Oh, no, I've been travelling the South Island this week. Nelson and Christchurch sort of thing, so... Certainly was a long, long week. And Ellie got a bit restless today, so she went off to the beach with Ed, and so I was cleaning. And
Nice.
doing all the good hubby things, you know, where you clean the house and do the chores and everything
About
else.
time, you slack ass.
Oh, I just... to be fair, I'm just banking my brownie points because I've finally gotten Space Marine 2.
Oh, did you?
I literally... Oh, the worst thing is we went to Mighty 10 yesterday, and near the 910 now there's a JB Hi-Fi. And literally we're leaving it, and Ellen went, "Is there anything you need at JB Hi-Fi?" And my brain was like, "Do it, do it." She's essentially giving you permission. Go. And I was like, "Oh."
She legit said it straight out.
Yeah.
Dorks Down Under.
So anyway, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show, Dogs Down Under, Season 3, Episode 29. We do apologise for the certain videos being out of order, but things had to change and we couldn't help ourselves.
Yes. Sorry, that was on me.
It's all right.
We do have the story from last week that I have been got permission to share.
Oh, okay.
So for anybody that wasn't, we missed filming last week due to me having to call in late that we couldn't.
Yep.
So a young friend of mine that has just moved down from Sydney to Melbourne.
Okay, cool.
He was in Singapore for work for 2 weeks.
Okay.
On the way there, he went via Hong Kong to ask his partner's dad to marry him.
Oh, okay.
Which was really cool. So he actually left 3 days early to go to Hong Kong to do that.
Okay.
He has been based in Sydney. Mm-hmm. He ended up not taking a massive position in Sydney to move down to Melbourne because his partner wanted to move down to Melbourne because she found a job here.
Yeah. Okay.
So he decided that, okay, his work's railed up 3 days early, so he decided to change his flights.
Right. Okay.
He walked in to surprise her and was surprised to find that she was already enjoying some extracurricular activities on the couch.
Oh,
yes.
God.
So if anybody needs to know what extracurricular activities is, go ask your dad or your mum.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is the guy's like, "Who's this cunt in your house?" And she's like, and then he's like, mid-session, mind you, sees him walk in and goes, "Who the friggin' hell's that?" And pretty much she goes, "What?" And turns around and notices that it's her boyfriend. Supposedly, this guy that she'd been seeing, they started dating in Sydney a year after they got together, and she was moving to Melbourne and she found a job in Melbourne because she wanted to move with him.
Right. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So he called me. It was about probably 11:30 at night, and he's like, "Bro, can I stay with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, no stress." So he came over. Always weird because we don't have enough room to have someone crash. So I'm like, "Bro, just jump in the bed next to us. It's all good."
Yeah.
Mind you, Cherish had already fallen asleep by that point and got the fright of her life when she came in, and I'm in bed with another guy. And she's like, "What the hell?" I introduced him, told him the story, and she was like, "I completely understand that." He has been lucky enough now so the lease is under her name because she moved a month early.
Yeah.
So he's now moving back to Sydney and actually got that dream job that he was actually looking for, and he gave up for her.
Hey, it all comes up trumps.
So I was like, rightio. So I said to Jordan, I'm like, "I'll tell you when I get a chance."
Yep.
I spoke to my mate. I'm like, "Listen, I've just got to tell Jordan, is that okay?" He's like, "If you want to say it on the podcast, it's a funny story." So I'm like, "Oh my God."
Dude, I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy the good Reddit stories. I enjoy listening to them and stuff like that. But yeah, I never thought I'd ever actually know someone in real life going through that crap. God forbid.
So he actually moved. And so the worst thing is that they've been together 7 years.
Oh, dude, that sucks.
So he went to Hong Kong to ask her parents for her hand in marriage, and then
I assume he contacted her parents and saying this is why. This is what's occurred.
He has mentioned that the wedding has been cancelled.
Oh well, yeah.
Or sorry, the proposal has been cancelled.
Yeah.
And if you want to know anything, talk to her.
Yep.
And I'm like,
Oh no, he should have just come out straight out with it, in my opinion. Yeah, no, I shouldn't sugarcoat it. Don't give her a chance. Nah. You say the reason why, because she came back early and found her cheating. Simple as that.
oh no. So yeah, so she literally said that he said he goes, ask her if she refuses to tell her, let me know, and I will tell you straight up. I'm like,
Yep, dude. All right, God forbid.
So we actually had a couple hours to go back there and get his stuff while she was at work.
Yep.
We managed to move everything here. He's boxed it all up. There's a couple of additional boxes in my garage now that were being shipped up to Sydney. He's spoken to his boss. His boss is like, that's shit, take a few weeks off. Yeah. And then he's also said, well, the guy that we've got doing that current job, he can't keep up, and we don't think we're going to keep him. So how about you come back to the Sydney office, we'll put you in your old job, and then if that continues, he's going to get his own job back. But by the sounds of things, this guy, he's going to get his job back. But I'm like...
Yeah, at least he's landed with Trumps. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. That is... But yeah, I mean, wow, that's just shocking. But yeah, anyway, wow. God, that's a way to kick off the podcast. God.
I do apologise, but yes, it was more just... He did give me permission to do it, so I was like...
Yeah.
That's cool. I'll let people know.
But apart from that, how else are you? Are you all good?
better than him, shall we say? Better than him, but no, I can't complain too much, man.
Oh man, God forbid, I don't even know where to start. I've lost all. I don't know what to do. So one thing I do want to discuss is Space Marine 2. I do want to discuss Helldivers slightly because it's interesting. A lot of the vibe that's been going on with Helldivers recently, because at the moment they are now 4 weeks into their 60-day plan. I think they've only literally they're five weeks in, sort of thing. So they've only got a couple more weeks to essentially get the ship turned around.
So hard too though, because it is the worst timing, because now they've got Helldivers 2 trying to turn it around.
Yes,
and you have this game that has just come out.
Yes, so Space Marine 2. I'll tell you now, right? Okay, one, it plays a bit more complicated than Space Marine 1. I'll tell you that. I feel like I'm struggling to keep up, and I'm only playing on normal. I'm like, what the hell? It is freaky to play, and you keep getting hit and all this jazz. And I know that because obviously in Space Marine 1, you if you kill the enemies, especially with the execution stuff, you used to get armor back and all that. I'm like, cool, yeah, and it's still similar mechanics. I know how to do this, but yeah, it is just strange. But the best thing is it's actually not the actual playing of the gameplay like what's in front of you. It's about everything else that's happening all around you. It is so good. It's like suddenly, like, you're fighting off you're seeing this horde of Tyrians coming towards you, like, oh my god, this looks badass. Or you see the gargoyles flying, or it's just so well done. It is beautiful. I feel like it's like, well, although it was funny, it's because obviously Eddie wanted to watch me play it, and I was like, right, I'll allow it, sort of thing. But if there's any bits like a thing, I'll tell you to go out. And he went, right, okay. And we're on the ship, and it's like, I think it's like mission 1. We're on the ship, we're walking through. It's like, Dad, what's the little flying baby thing in the corner? It's a messenger. It's a messenger, son.
Is this the little naked cherubs?
Yeah, there's little naked cherubs because we've just been to the chaplain. And then it's like, why is there a floating head? He went, oh, it's a servo skull. It's like a little robot that delivers messages. Oh, okay, all right. Why is that guy got all that? Why is that guy on the? He basically he's talking about a servitor. He's like, why is that guy just doing all these things? Why has he got all 2 things instead of arms? I'm like, how do I describe this to a 10-year-old? This is the very grim dark future. God. Honestly, I love when Games Workshop do a game because they don't do it by halves. They go the full tilt. And you get, like, all those little details in the background are just, like, the best thing. I've only done, like, one and a half missions so far. I mean, sort of thing. I'm very still, as I said, I only got it yesterday. I've only played, like, a couple of hours of it so far. So, I'm going to get stuck in tonight.
I must say though, I have seen it all over Instagram Reels and
Yeah.
seen people that have played it, and it is next level insane by the looks of things. Like the graphics, everything is just absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely. I mean, the detailing is fantastic. They really got the look right. I assume whoever was in charge of the creative and development bit at the game studio, they must play Warhammer. They have to, because there's no way that someone who doesn't understand all that, because let's be honest, Warhammer 40k isn't a little bit of, oh, here's a little bit of smidge of lore and there's a big game of it. No. It's like all that is lore and there's this tiny little bit that's a game. So there's just so much detail in the thing. But yeah.
Yeah, and I must say it is exciting times, because I do know that I'm going to say it's next Tuesday. I'm going to the VR of Zero Latency.
Ooh.
And they also have a new Warhammer 40k out.
Ooh.
You actually get to be a Space Marine. So I don't know if anybody's seen it. So luckily, I am good friends with the PR guy from Zero Latency. Luke is an amazing guy. And because he knows I'm a 40k, he's been saying that, listen, it's coming out. And it did get a little bit delayed because I had to wait for the release of this game, but it's out now. So if you have a chance, Zero Latency is in, I think, like 40 countries, and it's literally just you put on a headset
and this looks so good.
And a gun, and you literally walk around and you're pretty much a Space Marine. The best thing about it is that for somebody like me, I get motion sickness when it comes to VR. I hate VR when you're actually doing it, but because you actually walk around and it shows you how to, it is next level amazing. And yeah, so there's an immediate event to launch it. I'm going to say it's next Tuesday. So it's probably, we probably won't talk about it next podcast, but the podcast after.
There's one in Auckland. I need to go.
Yes. The only downside about it is too, though, is it's not like one of those, quite often it's not one of those ones where you rock up and you can just go like, I'm going to rock up with just myself and pick up a team. You do have to get a whole team there, which can and is sometimes annoying. I've been, I think, 3 times now, twice with media, once by myself. And it's dead set amazing. Like, get 6 or so friends together and just have a ball. But you put these things on. The first time I went, there was you had to actually wear a giant backpack that had the laptop in it, and then all the cables plugged into there. So it was you notice a little bit more weight when you're walking around. Yeah. But now what they've done is they've managed to do it all via Bluetooth, and then just go screw it and go bang 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 for so you've got the gun, you've got the headset, and that's it. And the cables are obviously Bluetoothed across to the same PCs. So it's kind of exciting. I'm hella excited for this.
So you said he was next. Right, hang on. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the Space Marine one. I'm curious to know. Oh, here we go. Sweet, it's only $50 a person.
Yeah, it's not much.
God, yes, I'm going. I've got my mate coming over at Christmas. I think we're gonna get that booked. Yeah. me, him, and the boy. Oh, I wonder if Elle will do it, because you were screaming the last time we went to VR. It might be a good idea.
I don't know. It is very well done, and I must say I'm been very impressed by it, because it's not just. It doesn't just seem like it's a gimmick, and that's the thing that I really like about it. It actually seems to have put in a lot of work, like in it as well. Like, it's the weirdest thing, because you walk down, you actually walk down this ramp. The first one we were in was during COVID, and it was a bit of a pain in the ass, because COVID had just kind of let out, so we were able to go to this thing, and what it was like all these zombies coming at you, and the idea was you were in a game show, you stood in your place, and then you were able to fire, and the idea was to save your friends and that, which was great. But there wasn't much movement, but you were just kind of turning around. But the good thing is, because of the distance you needed to have.
The one we did was very similar. Yeah.
The last one I did was, what was it? It was something else. It was similar to I think you were just trying to think. You were trying to break down something. I don't know. But you actually walked. You'd actually walk down these things. There'd be zombies coming out, and you could actually run away from them and different things. And I must say, it is so well done. And the space is probably about half the size of the basketball court that you play on. but you still feel like you're moving. Like at one point, then you had to actually walk over this. I think it was like almost like this. They had like a metal beam that had fallen down. You had to walk up to get to this next section. But when you're watching people, when you're in it, you're like, whoa. When you're watching people, you watch these people and they're doing this.
Yeah.
And the whole ground is flat, and it's just the funniest thing ever. But it is so immersive. It is so good. And now to be a space marine, I'm going to lose my shit.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Please tell me you can pick a chapter. Don't get me wrong. It's fine being the blue boys, but if I could just, I know I'm not going to be able to see it, but if I can just make sure I'm wearing my salamander armor, I'm good. I'm good.
The biggest problem is you can't be angry marines, and that's the thing that's more annoying.
Oh, that's one thing I have found funny on the TikTok algorithms with all the Space Marine 2 things is all the customizations people are doing with their armor, and someone was like, I'm this close to having angry marines if I could just get the symbol. And people are customizing it to make angry marines just getting it, on the verge of looking good. But yeah, it's really funny.
Like I'd be so down. Like, for anyone that doesn't know, Angry Marines is a chapter that kind of came about as more of a joke. It was like meant to be these PTSD Marines that were just always angry, always up for a fight. Mm-hmm. Then, unfortunately, 4chan picked it up and came up with a Angry Marine Codex,
yep.
which had all these things that was kind of insane. There was also a Facebook group. I think it was either Facebook or it was a 4chan group. So what you would do is you'd post your models in there and people would be like, yeah. It was the most toxic place I've ever been. So I started an Angry Marine because Steve Mead, who worked for Games Workshop in Melbourne, told me about it, and it sounded so stupid. And I'm like, I fucking love it. Let's do it. Then what happened was somebody goes, "Oh, you're one of those Angry Marine boys." I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it because of this." Like I was just painting him up, and then he told me about what actually the Angry Marines were, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I had a look, and I was like, "Oh God, these guys are toxic as hell." Like this dude posted this amazing dreadnought, and they just went, and the guy just went, "Nah." It's like, "What do you mean?" And they went, "Nah," and they banned him from the group because he wasn't sticking to the codex. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, guys, they're little miniature dollies. Like, does it really matter? Like,
yeah.
But for whatever reason, they were, they were kind of anal retentive. So since then, my Angry Marines I've pulled back a little bit.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I still want to do a few more.
Yeah. No, it's it is about to say when we did the VR thing, we were similar. It was one of those stationary ones. So yeah, we were stood there, and it was very funny because of course I've been playing video games since I was a kid. So immediately I dropped in. I knew what I was doing. And it's like, oh yeah, because all right, so I can duck behind this for a shield. I can stand up. I can shoot. Blah blah blah. And I know what to do. I'm doing what I'm doing. Eddie barely can see over the shield, so he's dealing with everything in the air. He can't see below. He can't shoot at high level.
How good is that though, mate? You just got somebody watching the skies for you.
It was great. Basically, I called him. He was our anti-aircraft gun. It was fabulous. But of course, he's having a howling and having a great time. And I've got Elle, who keeps getting freaked out and is screaming because things keep popping up at you. Yeah. Oh, hilarious. And then we get to this point where there's this futuristic like cyber dragon thing flying around. And of course, it's coming out of nowhere. And of course, she's like, ah! And I'm trying to play this game and not die of laughter. It was so fun. No. But yeah, we said it was so good. But yeah, but this one looks really good. So I think Edward would definitely enjoy it. But we'll.
Oh man, it is next level. It looks amazing. Like and I must say the good thing is chatting to Luke. He said that he's played it throughout. Like he played it when it was just square boxes and it was just the thingo, all the way up to what it is now. And he was just like the changes that they've made, seeing how it's progressed. He goes, that was better than anything that I could have aimed for. And he goes, and even if you're not a 40k fan, you'll love these. But if you are, this thing's going to be insane. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I mean, that's a sweet thing to go to. And thank you for telling me about that now. Yeah. In fact, that's a great thing for me to do for my birthday. Oh, no, I don't want to try. I'll do it as a birthday gift. But I'm not going on my birthday because I plan on drinking copious amounts of beers and having barbecue on my birthday.
Why can't you do both?
Because that means I've got to leave the house. That's cutting into drinking time. You know, up to Auckland, do this and then coming back. We're talking at least, that's half the day.
That's true.
That's half the day. And my great plan is I'm going to get up, I'm going to go for a nice dog walk, maybe a quick, very quick gym session, because I know that I'm not going to be fit and able to do it the next day. And I'll just crack on. That's and especially as I'm going to have my the pool put up as well, so I'm just going to be chilling out in the pool. Oh, oh God! I tell you what, I need to be back. I need to take Temu off my phone.
What's that?
Because I saw on TikTok. I'm scrolling through, and someone was showing off. You know, it's like every now and they probably get this on Insta Reels as well. It's like Amazon products, are they fact or cap or whatever? You know, it's like all these people who just quickly show off different products. There's this specifically, this one pops up and it's all these pool attachments. So for pop-up pools, and it's all, you know, with like, you know, so you like I'm not talking like inflatable ones. I'm talking about big ones, sort of thing. Yeah. And it's like, oh, here's all the attachments you can get. And I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And you see tables and cup holders, and I'm like, well, you know, because we had the big round one last year, and it was good, but it was annoying because you had to hold your drink because we didn't have a table or anything like that. And I was like, oh God, I could just get, you know, I'll just have a look on Temu and see if I can find it. Oh my God, I ordered cup holders, chests, a light. I've ordered this little pool attachment that you put on the bottom of the ladder, so you can wash your feet in it, so you're not dragging grass and crap into the pool. So it's saving on that.
You mean wash your feet on it?
Well, you know how you would go to you'd go to the public pools, and and especially older ones, you'd have to, you know, you'd walk through like this little dip of water as you're coming out of the changing rooms.
Oh yeah,
to wash your feet. Essentially, it's like a foot wash. But this attachment, it goes on the bottom of the ladder, so you put water in it, and so therefore, you know, any grass or stuff that's on the bottom of your feet, you can get it all off. And I thought, yes, I want one of them, because the amount of times I was sick of having to clean up grass from getting into the pool, because of course I've got to mow the lawn, sort of thing. So there's loose grass. There's always loose grass. But then I was like, oh, actually, I wonder if they've got like some like an underwater vacuum or something like that, because, you know, don't get me wrong, you can use a net, but it's just not as quick and easy as if you could have it. And I found one of them as well. So I spent about $100 for my new pool that we haven't even got up yet, with all these attachments.
Oh, I thought you'd already got it up.
No, it's not up yet. No, we're going to be setting it up. Although my child wants it up now, and I'm like, nah, it's still too cold. So
makes sense.
We'll be putting it up. I've said to him November. Beginning of November at this rate, sort of thing. So I've kind of, because that's when the weather's starting to get nice, sort of thing. Yeah. So I'll get it. But this one that we got, because we got it on sale for like, how much was it? It was $700 on sale. It's It's like what is it? It's like 9 feet long, 6 foot wide. It's a big old pool, and it's got. What was it? And it was like it was so $700, and it was down from 2,000. So I was like, yeah, sweet, you know. And it's big. It's gonna be sweet. Can't wait. It's got everything now, sort of thing. I even bought some lights to throw in the pool, and I was like, but we don't use the pool at night, sort of thing. I said, but we can now. And she went, no.
Shut up, woman. This is what I'm doing. All right, leave it. She's like, and that's the story of how I got divorced.
But yeah, so honestly, I'm looking forward to having the pool put up, and we're gonna.
Oh man, yeah, but Temu is great for little things like that. Like I've watched this thing. So for people that don't know, I have been fishing since I was a kid. My dad and grandfather were both trawler boats fishermen, so it was always like a hobby. So I love that kind of stuff. And recently I've been watching this guy, and he hasn't released a video in like 12 months, but he's got Fishing with Norm. And he literally does these challenges where they either go to Bass Pro Shop or something like this, and they've got like $100 thing on. They got to buy rods, reels, kits, and all this stuff. And it looked really cool. And then just recently he's done a Temu one. And I've bought a rod from Temu, or was it Temu? No, AliExpress once. And I needed something that was just cheap and nasty, because all my stuff was locked away in my mum's garage. And I'm like, I don't have time. I'm just going to buy it all for there. And it ended up costing me about $40 or $50 at the time, because I had some discount vouchers. And I was like, yep, cool. But oh my God, like there's some great things on there, and they were using some of this stuff, and some of this stuff is great. Some of the rods are slightly smaller, like I like a 6'6" rod. Most of them are about 6 foot, but I'm like, oh my god, these.
I'll tell you, the other thing we've just bought, because this is you're gonna crack up at this. We're going to an event up in Auckland. It's a family rave day. It's a Halloween family rave day. So it's like it's a daytime rave, and obviously it's Halloween based. So it's the weekend, because obviously Halloween's like I think it's a Thursday this year, something like that. So it's on the weekend. So no, the first or second of November, whatever it is. So it's a day, and everyone's getting dressed up and all that. And Elle was like, "What are you going to wear?" Because obviously I've got a lot of costumes. Well, not a lot. I've got a couple of costumes, but they're certainly not I wouldn't be comfortable in a hot day, day dancing in them. Let's just put it that way. So Elle says, "Well, I'm going to order something. Do you want me to see if I can find you something?" I said, "Yeah, feel free. Enjoy yourself."
Oh god.
So she's a bumblebee. Edward's got a hot dog costume.
Naturally,
I'll send you a photo. It is this, like a bad Hawaiian shirt short combo. Like you get the matching stick. Imagine that, but imagine mine's bright neon green pumpkins and ghosts and everything. Yeah,
wow.
It is literally. I'm pretty sure the International Space Station is going to be able to spot me if they go overhead. So it's really bright. However, I'll tell you now, it is comfy. That shirt is so nice to wear.
That's all that matters, really. Like when it comes down to it, I'm like,
it's like a half polo shirt. It's actually, put it on. I was like, ooh, this is quite nice. I quite like this.
So blimey, don't mind this all.
Is. So I need to go. What I need to do is I need to pop to Look Sharp, the costume store here and in New Zealand. I need to go by them and see if I can find like some like bright luminous green socks or so. I'm gonna. Let's go. If we're gonna go neon, we're going full neon. So, I don't know if I can find some glasses or a hat or something like that. That's all I think. I'll find something to add to the look. But it is a horrific shirt. Like it is like if there was a bad shirt party, if I have to go to a bad shirt party, I'm taking this shirt now. Okay, don't get me wrong. I've got a handful of shirts, but this shirt takes the cake.
Oh, that is great. Yeah, no, because just before COVID, it was in the April just before COVID, I was due to fly to Brisbane for Andy, one of my best mates, 40th. And then last minute he told me it was a 80s party. And I was like, oh God, why? I hate costume parties, but he's all for them and loves them. So I was like, yeah, cool. So I bought this thing and also bought on AliExpress something. So I'm going to send, Jordan a photo, if I can open Messenger, if it decides it wants to open. So I bought this costume. So while Jordan's scuffling at it, I bought MC Hammer's costume. Wow. Exactly this one here. The problem was I don't have the body as MC Hammer. But what AliExpress do have is shirts with abs and pecs on it. So because they're Asian sizes, I think I got a 4XL.
Yeah.
So I have a 4XL one. I was sitting there, right, and I'm like, I went to get white, and I'm like, and then somebody said to me, he's like, yeah, but MC Hammer's black. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we can't do that first.
I don't know. And I'm like, I think it would be racist for me to wear like a black abs and stuff from the neck down and then be white on top. But I'm like, I don't know which one.
Are you sure you're not going to be?
He's like, you should get the black
are you sure
one.
when you have this on? Are you sure you're not going to be convinced that people aren't going to think you're like the genie from Shazam? Or
possibly that, or like Wish.com's version of Vanilla Ice. One of the two. I'd just be sitting there dancing around singing Wish.com version.
God, Wish.com, Jesus, is that still a thing? Can't be.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, bloody
Timu's kind of taken over from it, but yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so I do actually have this costume, and it's still sitting there waiting to be worn. Because Andy said originally he was going to have a 40th party the following year, which also got ruined by COVID.
Yeah.
And then ended up being about 3 years down the track. So, and then the next time I think I got invited up there was for his wedding. So I'm probably can't wear this to the wedding.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for anybody wondering, there is a gorgeous MC Hammer costume with the big fluffy pants, the gold, the glasses, and I currently have that sitting in my closet, waiting for just in case anybody decides they wanted to have another 40th program. Another, no, not 40th, sorry, another 80th. So I'm like, So we'll see what happens there.
It will be. I will be getting photos of me all decked out for
I think
this
it'd
party.
be rude not to.
Although it's funny because we're going with our neighbours are also coming along to it, and they've gone full family unity. They're being ratatouille, so they're being chefs and stuff.
Oh,
like
that's kind of cute.
Which is fine. Don't get me wrong, but Elle was like, "Should we do a family costume?" No, go on. Especially as Edward was like, "Nah, I don't want to do a family costume." It's like,
Not unless Edward gets to go as a Marine. You're going as a Sisters of Battle, and I'm going as a salamander. The answer is no.
oh God forbid! Yeah, that would have been no. I'd tell you, I would happily be in a Valhalla Ice Warrior, but that thing will be hot. Valhalla Ice Warrior has to be,
especially if you're a raving
yeah.
That would be hilarious. Just watching somebody in this giant friggin' also Space Marine thing just dancing.
Yeah, although I am wondering if there's going to be any Helldivers there, sort of thing, because it's been popular, sort of thing. Lots of people have been doing cosplay and stuff like that. So yeah, it looks quite good. Yeah. Funnily enough, I was told when I was playing the other day. It wasn't. It was last week. I was playing with one of the guys I regularly chat with, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're going off to this." I can't remember which convention they were going to in the States. I said, "I've never heard that one." He said, "Oh yeah, well, there's a big gaming group of us going, and we're all doing Helldiving as cosplay." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I said, "How many are you going?" He said, "Oh, we've got 60 of us are guaranteed at the moment." I was like, Jesus. I said, "You've got 60 of you going in that?" He went, "Yeah." I said, "Please tell me someone's done a Super Earth standard flag, and all this." I said, "Oh, yeah. We've all coordinated. We've all got different guns and stuff like that. We're all going to look the part." He says, "I ordered, he said he 3D printed a grenade to fit his speaker he's got." And I was like, "That's cool. At least you can play music or some inspirational music and all that jazz." He went, "Oh no, I've downloaded the automatons war marching chant that they do, because they do this thing when they're on patrol. They actually chant this thing." And he says, "I'm gonna play that just for fun. Gonna throw it in every now and again where we're all probably immediately start scanning and doing,
I just want a whole heap of them, just to 60 of them all at once, just to drop in from the roof and just go."
It would be good. But yeah, it was just, he was telling me about it. I was like, wow, that's quite cool. And yeah, you just look at conventions of all the cosplayers and stuff like that. It's really funny.
That is next level insane.
Although I would love to see a whole bunch of squad, say a 4-man squad of Helldivers together, and they see a Marine. Getting that photo together, it could be so good.
That would kind of be sick, actually.
It would be. It would be so funny to see. Oh god, I would be howling. But yeah, the only other thing that's been going on, that's been quite cool, is a couple of weekends ago, I took Edward. There was a big esports. It was Auckland's first big esports event up at the Spark Arena. So, and it was for Fortnite and Fall Guys, but they also had all these. So obviously, Xbox were there, PlayStation were there. There was all the indie developers for New Zealand were there, showing off their stuff as well.
That's cool.
And you'd be there and you could play the games and stuff like that. So we went on the family day thing. We took Edward's best friend with us, because it was cheaper for me to buy a family ticket than it was to buy an adult and a kid ticket. So,
oh man, that's the weirdest thing. Is what was it? It was the Melbourne shows. The Melbourne show happens every year. Started off as a little agricultural thing that was at the Melbourne Showgrounds. Now the Melbourne Showgrounds are almost more closer to the city than they are to the outer suburbs of the city.
Yeah.
And it was to show off the agriculture. Then it joined show bags and parks and stuff like that. And I remember when we went, it was probably I think I went when we were 20, and it was $15. It's now $98 for a family of 4, and it's 1 adult and 3 kids. That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean 1 adult and 3 kids?
It should be 2 adults and 2 2 kids.
You can get that one. That one is, I think they said it's 112 or 116 because the adults are extra. Yeah. I'm like, that seems so stupid.
No, it was just weird, because obviously I booked the family ticket because it's it's for one adult and 2 kids, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And then I literally said to her, I said, do you think I should offer it out to ask Edward if he can bring someone? And it was like, actually, it might be a good idea. So, I just said, right, you can pick one person, but on one person only. We have to organise it now. And he was like, oh, okay. So we took one of his good mates, sort of thing, and he was super pumped. He was looking forward to it. But yeah,
It's so weird though, because Fallout and Fall Guys as the esports.
no. It was So sorry, it was Fall Guys, which obviously that's quite an exciting thing to watch.
It's fun as shit to watch.
Yeah, it's fun. But the problem is that wasn't the main one. The main one on the big arena was Fortnite. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, do I appreciate Fortnite as a possible esport? Yes. Okay, totally get it.
Yeah.
Especially when it's being streamed. Like, when you're watching it through stream, that's interesting. However, trying to hype up a crowd when it's no build, and of course, basically people are just driving around in cars, the map's getting smaller. Basically, it was a very, very slow. Like, it got good. Like, the last, they were half-hour matches. So, it was like, dull, 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 dull. Maybe a little kill here and there, but it was like dull, 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 dull. The last 10 minutes is where it was all action-packed, but it's like, it just didn't go out the gates quickly enough. Sort of thing.
That's the hardest thing. No builds. There's a little bit less excitement with all these new cars and different things like this. It kind of is also a bit like, people are a bit like, meh.
Yeah, but no, it was just one of those things that it was all right, but I think I felt like Fortnite was the wrong one to choose. I actually commented in the survey. I said, I understand why you've chose Fortnite, especially for the daytime with kids and all that, because it's popular. But to me, it's the wrong choice. There's not enough hype. Because like the last time I ever went to a big event like this was I took my nephew because he wanted to go see the CS:GO. Like I think it was the regional championships or something like that. Like we're talking quite a long time ago. But yeah, he wanted to see that, and no one else could take him. And I said, "Oh, I'll take it." I said, "You're gonna have to explain to me because I've never played CS:GO, so you're gonna have to explain away." And literally, that was just all these different teams playing all their different matches, sort of thing. So there wasn't any of this extra developers or anything like that, sort of thing. So you're there to watch that sort of thing. So he was driven at that, but the hype was there. Like you end up getting into it quite well.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing about esports is even if you're not 100% sure what it is, it's very easy to get into it in the moment. Like it does seem to get really exciting, and there's a lot of things where you're just like, oh, geez.
Yeah. But no, it was a very good event, and especially as they had this big, like during the daytime, they was doing this thing with, there's a virus, and so you walk around, you had a band, and you could do prize, if you played at any of the stations, like with any of the games, you could scan in, you earn points. You also you could go around, you could find things as well through QR codes.
That's
and all
cool.
this jazz. So it was quite good, but yeah, it was just, for the first one, little rough on some things, and I think it would be good. I think if they were to bring it back, I wouldn't mind going again. But if it was Fortnite again, I'll be like, don't know, sort of thing. But anyway, you never know what the new it could be. I mean, I was trying to think of what other game they could put up at the moment that would have been good, and the only thing I was thinking of that might be possibly exciting is Smash Brothers. But then again, it's the fighting games tend to be quite small numbers sort of thing, whereas there's not a big game at the moment that I could say, oh yeah, you could play this sort of.
The hardest thing is too, though, there are some games out there that would be worth actually doing because they are quite amazing. The biggest problem I find with them is that quite often they're not they're just not as big as what they were. Like, if you know what I mean, like because like for example, some of those ones like Overwatch, League of Legends, those are massive. But the problem is, though, is if you're trying to get young kids involved.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Right, okay. I have tried League of Legends, okay. I don't get the hype about it. I really do not enjoy it, sort of thing. It just, I get why people would enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I understand that as a concept, but I just don't enjoy League of Legends, sort of thing. It just, and even watching it, I'm like, it doesn't get me going, sort of thing. Whereas if I was to watch Overwatch or Apex, and any of the first-person shooters, yes, that I
Yeah.
understand. That that's really easy to get behind. But obviously, you don't want to be promoting, even though generally most of the time it's all fantasy-based. You don't want to be promoting that to children, sort of thing. So that's
Yeah.
the reason why they probably didn't have one of them. But yeah, but no, all in all, it was good fun though. But yeah. Apart from that, it was all good fun at the end of the day. As I said, what we'll do is swing back around to Helldivers because I did want to discuss that. So
Yeah.
obviously, I did say I did send you that link the other day because I got a cheeky tool through Steam saying, "Oh, Helldivers is on sale."
Yes.
And
I know. I saw that, and I'm just like,
oh no, I just thought I'd forward it to you just so you can have a look. So
yeah, no, it's on my wish list too. So I got that probably about half an hour later.
Yeah.
And I was just like, want it.
yeah, no,
I just want to play it.
yeah. At the moment, it is. The vibe's gone really weird around it, and I think it's because obviously a lot of people right now have obviously Space Marine 2 has just come out, so a lot of people have ran off to play that for a little bit. Yeah. There are people still playing it. I wouldn't say, I would say we were probably at about 60 odd thousand a couple of weeks ago. I've noticed this week it's probably been about 40,000 players roughly online.
Oh, wow.
So it is. It is far in the way not as popular as it was, but the fact is that we know that Arrowhead. I mean, there was apparently a map glitch. It was funny. There was the main map glitch that came out. They fixed it very quickly for a glitch because it showed the Illuminate on the map, which is interesting. Yes, so the fact that, but everyone was like, "Oh, cool." The fact is, maybe they're closer than we realize, and everyone's like, "Well, of course they're closer. They're trying to entice people back." As in, "Ooh, we're releasing another faction. You might want to get on the ball," sort of thing. But yeah, and it is just one of those things of I think they need something big. They have just announced what they're doing is the next update is this week. And they've put in a lot of fixes and fixing changes that they did do. Like they're going to give us flamethrower damage back to normal. They're giving us the Eruptor. Eruptor's my favorite gun. That's my primary weapon. I love it. I actually don't even change the guns anymore. I have a loadout. I have a loadout that I haven't changed in weeks, and I just love running it. And literally, the Eruptor, it has a shrapnel blast effect on it. And so basically, if you shoot it into the middle of lots of the little guys, you will take out all the little guys. It's quite good. But they nerfed it. They had to fix because they said, it was the output damage was it. But they've said they've fixed it now, and they're putting it back on. So I can't wait to get my gun back.
That's the hardest thing though. Is I feel like sometimes with this kind of stuff as well, it's like I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know the right way to say this, but I feel like they need to do something massive, and I think they need to really start to really think about it. But I don't know. It just worries me a bit.
They have to, in my opinion, now. The only thing that's going to save the game, if say this 60 days. This is as I said to you in the previous episode. The reason why they shouldn't have said 60 days, they should have said 90, because then they could have tied it in. Because I always said that if they're going to do the Illuminates, they should bring the Illuminate back on Liberty Day, which is October 26th according to the game. So that's the one thing, but of course this when they said, "Oh, we're going to fix it in 60 days," because obviously 60 days sounds good because it sounds like, it's closer than you think. But of course that's falls short of this October 26th, and it's like, God damn it. Just
I know.
It's like you couldn't have thought. I understand you need to say 60 days, but you could have done. You could have done something. It could have made it work. So anything, but yeah, at the moment, I get what they're working on, and I get why they're trying to make it all good. But it's just, they've had the fun. You can't even blame PlayStation for the recent bad fumbles, sort of thing. The fact is that there's a lot of content creators who want to play the game, funnily enough, but they've said that they're taking this stance of until Sony allows everyone to play it who bought the game, then that's because apparently you can play it. So I found this out the other day. Apparently, even with the ban, you can still play the game providing you've still got it. So if you bought because Steam have to allow you because you paid for it in good faith at the time and it wasn't a requirement, so you can still play it providing you haven't put a refund in. But the problem with that is that, of course, it means that if you're playing it and your friends don't have the game and they're also local, they can't get it because there's this ban on. So that's the reason why a lot of people still haven't come back to it, sort of thing, because none of their friends can play it, which is kind of sad.
My only question is, I just don't know how PlayStation decided on this, and it just seems like a massive clusterfuck.
Well, basically, I mean, there was a content creator who, what was his name? I can't remember now. But yeah, he summed it up quite well, which was he thinks that basically PlayStation realized, our PSN account numbers are down. We need to boost our numbers. So they decided to, but this is the thing, it wasn't just Helldivers they locked out. So there was the big several games they did lock out was Helldivers, was it Fallout? No, it was Fallout, I think, and then the other one, because obviously you need a PSN account if you want to play multiplayer. That's the only reason you need it, okay? The third game they chose to put this lock on was God of War Ragnarok, which has zero multiplayer.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that doesn't have multiplayer.
No, it doesn't have a multiplayer. So the fact is that that's the reason why this creator was like, this is the only logical reason they've put this in place, is because they must have gone, the PSN account numbers are down. We need to boost. How do we do it? Let's make these handful of popular games that you've now got to log as a PSN account. And that's obviously what happened. But yeah, it is really stupid, realistically.
But does that mean if in theory, if I was to buy it now, I would have to have I'd have to have a PSN account?
I think yes. So if you were to buy it now, it's a requirement. Whereas if you would say you had bought it, but you've just not installed it or played it, which would be weird. But say you'd bought it beforehand, then you'd be fine. Yeah, you could play it because you bought it before it was a requirement. So therefore,
it just feels so weird and so clunky. And I'm like, and it's also like you've done this thing, and now you've just ruined so much of the game.
But this is the thing, right? Okay, literally, all they had to do was, because obviously no one knew about it when it was going to be a requirement, but apparently they couldn't get it to work properly for release, so they turned it off and then they turned it on once they got it all fixed. Completely fine with that. But the fact is that they should have just said from the outright, by purchasing this product you have to create a PSN account. Because no one would have denied it. Everyone would have gone, yeah, sure, yeah, fine, no worries, crack on.
Whatever.
Yeah. God forbid. It's like when I bought World of Warcraft the first time, I had to make a Blizzard account. Okay.
Yeah.
You've also got to make a Battle.net account, because at the time there were two separate things. I'm like, why do I have to make a Battle.net account? Because it's the multiplayer bit. So the Blizzard account is where all your payment details are all hidden, and then the Battle.net bit allows you to do your actual playing bit. Okay, all right, fine, yeah, no worries. And you just did it. Yeah. You've got two accounts, and now you've got one, luckily. But at the time, obviously, it was just technology. At the time, you just had to have two because it was the only way they could make it work, sort of thing. But
I just feel like this has been handled so badly, and they've ruined so much of this game because they're just like, we need numbers. But I'm like, I don't know.
It was a shit show. But hopefully, I really want Arrowhead to turn this around, because I still enjoy playing it, even though they've got less players in it and all that jazz, but I already know that when they do, because they will release the fact they've got all the stuff already for the Illuminate. It's been there, it's been teased. We know that we've seen the character models, some of the character models, so we know they're coming, sort of thing. Yeah. And I know that they'll release it, and we'll probably get a big wave of players back, but they need to have some things fixed by then, sort of thing. And they literally just announced the new war bond it's chemical weapons, which is quite cool. So we're getting our trench warfare on, sort of thing. But one of the best bits from the trailer that I saw that had me howling was because you have the stims, which is your healing thing that you need a stim and all that stuff. They've with this new one we get a stim gun. So it fires stims, so you can shoot your teammates to heal them. I'm like, oh god.
The problem is though, is that also then going to open up friendly fire? Because in theory, if that happens, you can't really.
Yeah, but friendly fire is always on. It's always on. This is
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
said you couldn't friendly fire.
No, you can. you can. That's the main cause of death in this game is friendly fire incidents.
For some reason, I thought you said there wasn't any friendly fire.
The friendly fire is always on. You can't turn it off. There's no option to turn friendly fire off. So if it was funny. Literally the other day I was playing, and I'm standing, I'm behind cover, and I'm shooting these robots and all these jazz. I am shooting regularly. And a guy decided, one of my teammates, we're talking because he's on the mic, and he decided to run across, literally you couldn't have timed it better. I'm looking down the scope of this thing, doing this long distance shot, and he literally, his head, as I pulled the trigger, which then kills him instantly, and he's like, dude, I went, dude, do you not see me shooting, you muppet? Why would you walk in front of the gun? So yeah, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good point. It's my bad." Yeah, no worry, we'll call you in.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I thought you said there was no friendly fire.
Oh no, friendly fire's on all the time. It's the main cause. Honestly, especially when you're playing early on, it is the main cause of death. I kid you not. Yeah. Because what you'll do is, because you can kill yourself more than anything. Like you throw down an eagle strike, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I should be far enough away," and then you realise it's coming from the other direction, and it's like, "Oh, I'm in the line." And he's dropping all the bombs. He's like, bam, bam, bam. And the last one's on me. Fabulous. Great. So,
like balls.
So yeah, you kill yourself more. You kill yourself often more than enough. It's really stupid. All right. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up there. Okay? Because I want a nice short episode to edit.
Good reason.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a big thank you to our recent likes, follows, shares, subscribers. Please make sure you do follow us at Dorks Down Under. You can see our beautiful faces on Spotify as well as YouTube. So thank you very much. And apart from that, peace out, and we'll be back next week, I think. Anyway, I think we will be back next week. But yeah,
I think so. Like I know the week after I've got. So I think on Monday I've got the Razer convention.
Yeah.
Then I have the 40K VR thing, then on the Wednesday I have the Magic media event.
Oh God, busy boy.
That's next week. So that's me being completely busy. But yes, that being said,
all right.
That's probably other than PAX. That's pretty much my entire year. That's the only things I've done this year.
Cool. Anyway, peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you guys later.
That is.